Hello again, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome to a new year. We're in 2020. Now, if you know you didn't try very hard this past year, let's try to do better. Okay, so let's do better this year. And by the way, it looks like third period and fifth period we'll be getting that cotton candy party, and the date will be announced. Okay, I managed to get that fixed. Okay, and if you didn't, then this is certainly something to try for the end of the year. Okay, all right, so let's go on. What are the properties of parallelogram? We need to wrap up chapter 6. Okay, remember OOODC? Do you remember that? And by the way, one last thing, I noticed for the EOC midterm how hard some of you really worked. And if you know that you really worked hard, some of you took the whole time to do it, and I really do appreciate that effort, so keep that up. Also, keep in mind Carnegie, it's a letter grade higher for when you finish it, plus it's 5 points per workspace. Okay, we'll be doing that on Friday again. All right, so let's get in this now here. OOO. So we know the symbol for a parallelogram looks like this. So whenever you see that symbol, you should write down OOODC. Now let's talk about that. This is opposite sides are parallel. So opposite sides are parallel. So this side is parallel to that one, and this little one here is parallel to that one. Why is that important? Because you have alternating interior angles, same side interior, etc., corresponding. This one says opposite sides are congruent. So opposite sides are equal or congruent. Okay, so if this is 7, this would be 7, 10, and 10. And opposite angles are congruent. So opposite angles congruent. Okay, these are the properties you need to know. So this angle, this great big one, is equal to that one. And this little one right here is equal to that little one right there. Let me make this just a scotch bigger. Okay, let's keep moving. Diagonals bisect each other. I need to make this a little bit bigger. So this diagonal will cut this big long one in half. So this 7, let's say, and this might be 4. Okay, so they cut each other in half. So diagonals bisect. Remember, that's a special word, okay? Bisect means half. Bisect each other. Okay, they cut each other in half is what the word bisect means. And consecutive angles are supplementary. So consecutive angles are supplementary. And that means they add up to 180. Superman, remember? Okay, so this angle here and this angle up here would add up to 180 degrees. And likewise, these are consecutive, and those would add up to 180 degrees. Consecutive means in order where you don't skip. Okay, those are the properties of a parallelogram. You need to memorize them. Okay, today we have a worksheet on that, so let's look at this one. These are consecutive angles here, and consecutive angles add up to 180. They're not equal. This one's a great big one. This one's a little smaller, but they do add up to 180. So put equals 180. They're supplementary. So 9x plus 3x. So I want the equation. So put 9x minus 2 plus 3x plus 14. On today's worksheet, if I do not see the equation, you will not get full credit. Okay, so this gives me 12x. Remember, we're making a decision. I want you right now, in your head, I want you to say to yourself, close your eyes if you want to, say to yourself, I'm going to do better this year. I'm going to work harder, especially for Mr. Toops, okay? All right, so anyway, this gives me 14 minus 2 gives me 12. So put plus 12 equals 180. So now we're going to subtract 12 and then divide by that 12. Okay, so let's do that. I don't have a calculator here. Well, there it is. So we're going to pull out the magic calculator. We're going to take 180 minus 12, press equals, and then divide by 12, press equals. Bam, we get 14. I like 14. Why? Well, it's not a decimal. Okay, that's right. That's right. That's the way we roll. So to get this upper angle, you're going to say x equals 14 is one answer. This great big one is 9 times 14 minus 2, whatever that is. And this bottom one is going to be 3 times 14 plus 14. And then you're going to use your calculator and figure those two out. Okay? Let me do it. So it's going to be 9 times 14, press equals, and then minus 2. So the great big one is 124 degrees. Remember, they add up to 180, so you could take 180 and subtract. So minus 180 will be a little easier. And I get 56 degrees. Those are the two angles that add up to 180 degrees. All right. Yeah, let's move on. This one right here is a parallelogram. The diagonals bisect each other. So this one is equal to that one. So again, you must write the equation on today's worksheet. There it is. All right, x is smaller. If you want, put a 1 right there. So minus 1x. If you like to do that, go ahead. So you get a negative 1 is equal to 3x minus 6. This is a two-step equation. You're going to add 6 and then divide by 3. So when you add 6, you get 5 and then divide by 3. Let me make sure I got that right here. Okay, I don't see anything wrong. So it's going to be 5 divided by 3 is x, and then you got to plug it in. Okay, so it's going to be 5/3 minus 1, whatever that is. Remember, your denominator, you put a 1 under here, and your denominator is 3, so you'd multiply by 3 over 3. Okay, again, maybe I didn't copy that right out of the book because I wasn't expecting it, but that's what it looks like. So that's 3x, and when you add, you get a 5. Yep, that looks right. Okay, anyhow, today you have a worksheet. So if you can't be with us, let me show you the worksheet so you can write it on a piece of paper if you like. When you come back, it's going to be in that blue folder by the pencil sharpener if you need it or if you need an extra copy. Only turn in what I ask you to turn in, okay? Some of you have turned in like everything. I don't want everything, okay? I'm good, but I'm not that good, okay? All right, so that's it. Have a good morning, and again, let's be super students.